Good morning everyone, it is Thursday the 18th of May and I'm going to get into the crux of this video pretty much straight away. The question is, are NFTs a scam? But before we do that, let's have a look at the latest charts and see what's going on in the wonderful world of crypto. Okay, so at the time of me making this video, Bitcoin is currently sat at $26,912 and in the last 24 hours that is down 0.32%. Ethereum is currently sat at $1,804. In the last 24 hours, it is down 0.85%. And BNB. BNB is currently sat at $309, and in the last 24 hours, that is down 0.28%. XRP Army, do not fear. I am recognising where you're at. XRP is currently at 44 cents. In the last 24 hours, that is up 4.5%. And of course, it wouldn't be a video without covering BGB. BGB token is currently at 45 cents. In the last 24 hours, that is down 0.73%. Now let's have a quick look at some of the BRC 20 tokens. Whew. It's not looking pretty. Ordinals down 7.8%. NELs down 12.8%. VMPX is down 12.2%. Pepe1 is down 13%. Meme down 17%. BIP1 is down 26%. Now, something that I'm paying special attention to is the way Bitcoin is moving. Is this preempting Bitcoin's next move? Let's pick that up on the next video. Let's have a look at the memes. Oh, memes. Shiba is down 0.23%. Doge is up 3%. Pepe is down 11%. Floki is down 5%. So it's a bit of a mixed bag, but I would say that the markets are looking pretty red right now. But let's have a look at our boundaries. Let's have a look at what is going on here. Clearly, as you can see, we tested that upper resistance of this range, but we bounced straight off it, and right now it looks to be downwards trending towards its lower mark. But let's monitor this very well. A reminder of this range. The range at its top is 27,600. At the bottom, it is 24,700. So let's see what happens with Bitcoin. But let's have a look at Ethereum. Ethereum is very different. You can see that we bounced off the bottom of the range. Reminder of the bottom was $1,730, with the top of that range being $1,958. Now, what's important here? We seem to be seeing a little bit of an uptrend. So it's going to be very interesting to see if we can challenge the upward mark of this range. Let's see what happens in the next few days. Crypto Bubbles, yet again, one of my favourite resources. It's very visual. I'm a visual person, and I like to see how and what I'm trading. Pepe, down 12%, like we said earlier. Hex, down 18%. I mean, what a roller coaster week Hex has had. FTT, who even buys that? It's up 5.2%. Litecoin is performing pretty well this week, I've got to be honest. It's up 4.3% today. And it's going to be very interesting how it performs coming up to the halving period. Now, we will cover that in a future video. Theta, it feels like nobody ever talks about anymore, is up 2.7%. AXS is up 7%. CFX is down 3.5%. So as you can see, it's a little bit more green than it was yesterday, but I would still say it's a mixed bag. Now, let's get into NFTs. For me, I was a big believer in NFT technology. I still am. I absolutely love it. I'm so passionate about it. But where we go wrong is profile picture NFTs and meme style culture. Remember, crypto, it's reliant on supply and demand. And that supply needs to smarten up into actual utility. Now, in this video, I really want to touch on several utilities of which I think are quite healthy to look at and that you probably should have a good look at, in my opinion anyway, but not financial advice, of course. But let's have a look at some of the key stats. Okay, well, let's have a look at 2020. You can see how many scams there were, potentially per month, number of scams. But the findings suggest that a whopping $26 billion has already been lost due to NFT rug pulls. But you can see the trend in 2022. The increase in this chart here is pretty rough. Of course, it was a bull market. But let's have a look. Since the bull market, it seems to have averaged off. But what is more concerning and alarming is this data here. So before the bull run, It was actually the most amount of money stolen, which was just it just didn't really kind of, I don't know. I was a bit confused by this, to be totally honest. But the number of scams doesn't correlate to the amount of money stolen. So let's have a look at this. The amount of money stolen in 2021 was higher than 2022, but the amount of scams was much higher in 2022. I mean, this is a little bit all over the place. But let's come back to this. Now, we can't really look at too much historical data, but what this suggests to me is we need to be very careful in 2023 where we're going with things. And very often, when we see bull runs, we see meme coin and altcoins absolutely run through the roof. Currently, right now, we're seeing this with Pepe. I don't know, all these little tokens that are coming out on the back of Pepe. And frankly, it's causing absolute chaos. Jamie, I'm coming back to my point. Hear me out. So, when we look at this, we often see more scams coming into the market. So you would argue that the amount of money stolen probably in 2021 would have been at the height of when the good tokens with utility were probably starting to go. But then the scams would come in 2022 when people are nervous that they missed that jump and they didn't get that opportunity, so they were going for like Enus and Shibas and whatever you call it, like second and third cousins of Shiba and all this, you know, things that we're not interested in. And that would come then the year after. So, what I'm suggesting is that we could be in a very similar period when it comes to the market consensus. We're seeing a meme coin season right now. Like it or hate it, we absolutely are. But what comes next is down to us. So from this video, I really wanted to educate everybody and have a good think about this and see what's going on. I mean, let's have a look at some NFTs. So Hollywood is actually embracing NFTs in a pretty good way. Well, is it? Let's get into it. So there's many different ways of which NFTs can go into the film and entertainment industry, for sure, absolutely. But some of the best examples that I've heard and I have seen and actually invested in is the following. So when you buy an NFT, for example, let me go to the Minion. So imagine owning a Minion and it's an NFT. Now, every time that Minion appears in the film, you get credits. You get an earning rights for how well that film performs. So imagine having a revenue share via ownership of that NFT for how it performs in the cinema. This is a great utility. You've actually owning something. You've got the ability to earn income on it too. But of course, do your research on the projects and make sure it's coming from a reputable brand. Let's have a look at the next example. Now, Dubai, you know that I live here. You know that I absolutely love this city and this country, the UAE. But they're doing things just right. They're moving more and more to the blockchain when it comes to assets. Properties more to the point. Now, the reasons that they mainly look at this is cryptocurrency is clearly fast, it's clearly secure, and it allows free and cheap investments. But what are they doing? And I hear you thinking, Jamie, are you a little bit crazy? No, I'm not crazy. Hear me out. When you buy a property in Dubai, you have the ability to purchase it via the blockchain. It speeds up the transaction. Fantastic. We already know this would happen. But what happens to the deeds to the house? Can that deed for the house become an NFT? Can NFTs become proof of ownership? And when you own an item, can it be stored on the blockchain? Think about it. Is this a really nice way to use NFTs in the future? I would say so. But when we talk about tokenizing assets and what are they, well, let's get into it. This is an article by Chainlink, and let's really talk about it here. So, asset tokenization has the potential to bring trillions of dollars into real-world value on blockchain networks. Now, this is an article from Chainlink, and of course, you might be thinking, what is a token asset? Well, let's get into it. Digital asset tokenization is a process whereby ownership rights of an asset are representative as digital tokens and stored on a blockchain. In such cases, tokens can act like digital certificates of ownership that can represent any object of value, including physical, digital, fungible, and non-fungible assets. Because they're stored on the blockchain, owners can maintain custody over their assets. Of course, if they are holding them in their own secure crypto wallet. What does this mean? We have got real-world items. This iPhone. If I want to get the warranty for this iPhone or the proof of ownership for this iPhone with the serial code, I could absolutely verify that on the blockchain. When I want to buy a house, when I want to buy a car, where does the paperwork live? Where does it go? That's right. It potentially could live on the blockchain. I think tokenizing assets is the actual future of NFT technology. Let's get one thing straight. When we talk about crypto, we talk about NFTs, we're all extremely passionate about the blockchain. Well, that's exactly what I am anyway. I actually think that 95% of crypto is a total scam, and the reason that we're all getting excited around this space is the future of blockchain and where it's going to go. So isn't this a positive step forward for where it could go? But when it comes into tokenizing assets, can we fractionalize them down? And yes, I'm using big words and sounding very clever in this video, but I really want to make your minds think very openly. Now, fractionalizing an asset could be as simple as the following. You know Banksy or the Mona Lisa? The Mona Lisa is a fantastic example. For example, I have not got the capability to go and buy the Mona Lisa right now. I probably never will, but right now, definitely not. But if I was to team up with 10,000 people and own a share of it, then potentially I have. But what's the value here, you say? The value is from within. Let me give you another example. Property. Okay, so I've got a house worth $100,000. Now this house, and this is just a random figure, so don't come Jamie in the comments, you can't buy houses for $100,000, because I'm using this as an example. Okay, anyway, we've bought this house for $100,000, and I'm thinking, do you know what? I am going to tokenize this asset. And I'm going to tokenize it for 100 people, and all I need to do is contribute $1,000. That means that I can have 100 shares in a house worth $1,000. So if I want to buy 5, I want to buy 20, I want to buy 30, whatever, I'm getting myself on the housing ladder because I have equity within a product. And where is all of the paperwork stored? Yes, that is right, upon the blockchain. Now, if there's one thing that you take from today's video, I want it to be, yes, I believe modern day NFTs are an absolute scam, unless they serve a real world purpose, utility, or bring some form of value via ownership. What do you think? Be sure to make informed decisions, and remember, nothing in this video is financial advice. I'm just a guy trying my best to try and educate you. If you did enjoy today's video, or you find it informative or educational, be sure to hit that like button, drop me a supportive comment, and of course subscribe. Now there's only one thing left to say at the end of this video, and of course, it's let's go.